This is Valley News Live at noon.
Welcome to Valley News Live at noon. It is officially election day, and we want to take a live look right now at some of the polling locations. This is a scene at Calvary United Methodist Church in South Fargo. Lines have started at 7 a.m. this morning and have been busy ever since. If you're heading to the polls here in North Dakota, you have less than 7 hours to do so, as polls close at 7 p.m. On the Minnesota side, polls will close at 8 p.m., but if you still have an absentee ballot to turn in, you can return it to a secure drop box or inside at the elections office until 3 this afternoon. We have a full day of election coverage planned for you. Don't forget our online election source. Visit valleynewslive.com or your free VNL News app and click on our election homepage. And one of the big races for the state of Minnesota is the governor's race. Governor Tim Walz made his way to the polls early this morning. This year in Minnesota, over 275,000 ballots were sent in for absentee voting. It's almost a 50,000 increase compared to the 2018 state primary election.
Lines out there, people are happy, moved relatively.
Walz is taking on Republican candidate Dr. Scott Jensen. Jensen made his way to the polls this morning in Chaska, Minnesota. Jensen is looking to become the first Republican to win a statewide election in Minnesota since 2006. If you needed proof that it's a windy day out there today, check this out. Winds have completely taken down the sign right next door to us at the Baymont Inn. There has to be some kind of power behind those gusts to take something like that down, and we're hoping we don't see too much more damage around our area. So let's check in with meteorologist Jim Gash.
Hey Jillian, that's right. It has been a pretty windy day here in the valley, and it's actually pretty icky out there as rain has just started here in Fargo, reducing those visibilities pretty well, and those clouds have been blanketing much of the area. And we do have those first alert weather days coming up on Thursday and Friday as a winter storm is moving in. We're going to start seeing impacts with that tomorrow as we see some rain move into the picture, and some of that rain could have some thunderstorms involved with that too. Mostly those storms will be later on in the day. Now, as temperatures drop on Thursday, that rain will transition into some more frozen precipitation, both snow as well as freezing rain and sleet, and we'll see those heavy winds pick up throughout the day, which we'll see some of that accumulated snow start being blown around. Now, as we move on into Thursday, that heavy snow will continue, and that heavy wind will also continue, meaning that travel will be impacted significantly as visibilities will drop. Right now, we're seeing temperatures in the 30s or right around 40 degrees for most folks at this time. It's a little warmer down south, and here are those showers that we're seeing here in Fargo. They're going to start developing as we move on through our lunch hour, and we'll see some of that move farther to the east as we move on into the afternoon hours. Now, here in Fargo, we'll peak right at about 47 degrees before that sun starts setting at about 5 o'clock. And then after that, we'll see them drop back down into the low 40s by this evening. Now we'll see those clouds hang around, and I'll have more information about that snowstorm moving in coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, that's a lot of information there. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Dozens of officials are monitoring polling stations across the U.S., including Minnesota. Officials want to ensure that locations are in compliance with federal voting laws. The Civil Rights Division will take any complaints from the public regarding possible violations, but complaints related to disruption at a polling place should be reported to local authorities. When making your way to the polls, you can expect these measures on your ballot. North Dakota Measure 1 is dealing with term limits. Currently, as it stands in North Dakota, the governor and lawmakers each serve 4-year terms with no limit on the number of terms that may be served. For North Dakota Measure 2, you'll be voting on legalizing marijuana in North Dakota. If passed, this would legalize the use and possession of up to 1 ounce for adults 21 and over. North Dakota voters rejected a legalization initiative back in 2018, and as it stands today, 19 states and Washington, D.C. have legalized recreational possession. Heading up north is a proposed measure for Grand Forks County. It includes a half-cent sales tax increase to fund building infrastructure needs and roadways, including a breakdown of the percentages as to how it would be spent. In West Fargo, Measure 1 is proposing a 0.5% sales tax increase in the city exclusively for police and fire department funding. It's a move to diversify city funding for police and fire department buildings, equipment, and operations. Again, an increase of 0.5% in the city. And the city of Moorhead, Minnesota is looking to build a library and community center, so the city is proposing a 0.5% sales tax increase to fund it. It would begin next April and take place over a period of 22 years. And again, polls close at 7 p.m. in North Dakota and 8 p.m. in Minnesota. More complaints about Dollar General stores, this time in Hillsboro. City leaders asked the state fire marshal to conduct an inspection. During last night's city commission meeting, it was revealed that some of the key issues contributing to safety concerns are the lack of staffing and too much stock being sent. Like many other small towns, Dollar General stores are often the only form of grocery stores, and Hillsboro is no different. One commissioner hopes Dollar General officials will recognize the problems and fix them.
I'm hoping that Dollar General sees the situation that they have and how important they are to these communities, and maybe they can, in the higher ups, see the need that they maybe have to change something to improve what they're doing there, because it is important.
The State Fire Marshal's office has yet to complete its report. Coming up at noon, a new type of search and rescue, how rats could soon be sent out to help find people who are missing. But next we'll have weather to plan your day.